There's something uniquely mesmerizing about abstract wood and string art. At first glance, it feels like a contradiction, hard, rigid wood intersecting with soft, flexible string. But then you look closer. You trace the lines. You follow the tension. And suddenly you realize it's not a contradiction at all. It's harmony, contrast working in collaboration, shape meeting structure, precision balancing chaos. And all of it happening quietly, line by line, nail by nail, thread by thread. Abstract string art isn't new. It's rooted in mid-century design, geometry, and even mathematics. But when it's paired with wood, especially raw, textured, imperfect wood, it transforms into something far more emotional, far more natural. The clean lines of string stretched across jagged bark, warped grain, scorched surfaces. The tension between organic and calculated becomes the art itself. And when the string starts to form curves, waves, or webs across this uneven background, the effect is almost hypnotic. You can't help but follow the flow with your eyes, like watching ripples move across still water. It all starts with a surface. A slab of wood, not just any piece but one chosen for character. A slice of reclaimed timber full of cracks and knots. A crosscut round with bark still intact. A board sanded smooth but still carrying the ghost of grain, of weather, of age. This wood becomes the canvas. And unlike a blank canvas, it already tells part of the story. Its imperfections aren't hidden. They're embraced. The string doesn't cover the flaws, it dances around them, uses them, reacts to them. Then come the anchor points. Nails, pins, or tiny brass pegs, carefully positioned, sometimes according to geometric logic, sometimes by instinct. Each one becomes a fixed moment in space, an origin, a boundary, a point of tension. And with every nail placed, the possibilities begin to unfold. The artist isn't just drawing. They're designing a field of force, an invisible map of curves, angles, and potential energy. And then comes the string. Could be cotton, linen, embroidery thread, sometimes even thin wire. The material varies, but the purpose is the same: to move, to connect, to stretch from point to point across space and carve shape out of thin air. This is where abstraction truly begins. Because the string doesn't try to create pictures or patterns we already know. It doesn't draw birds or hearts or words. It weaves suggestion. It implies shape without fully defining it. Triangles dissolve into waves. Lines cross until they become a field. An arc emerges from straight lines pulled just slightly off axis. It's order without uniformity. Structure without symmetry. The beauty of string art lies in its tension. Literally. Every line is held tight, straining just enough to create a curve where no curve exists. These aren't flexible materials in the traditional sense. String doesn't bend like paint. Wood doesn't stretch like clay. And yet, when used together, they give the illusion of movement, softness, even emotion. A dense cluster of threads can feel heavy and grounded. A few sparse lines can feel like a whisper. The gaps become as important as the lines themselves. Negative space starts to speak. Some pieces are bold, large panels with hundreds of nails and miles of string layered like data maps. Others are minimal, just a few intersecting arcs across a corner of walnut or ash. Some artists use colored string, blending reds into oranges into yellows to create gradient washes that seem to glow against the dark wood. Others stay monochromatic, black string on pale pine, white thread on scorched oak, turning contrast into the main event. The choices all matter, but none of them overwhelm. Because string art at its best never tries too hard. It doesn't shout. It waits to be seen. And the moment you start tracing the paths with your eyes, you realize the complexity. These aren't random lines. Each one is chosen, placed, pulled. The artist might spend hours just looping a single shape, pulling thread in a perfect rhythm, back and forth, over and over, creating density, then release. The result is a kind of visual music. Not a melody you hear, but one you feel, pulsing quietly through the pattern. Even the smallest shift in tension can change everything. Pull the thread too tight and it warps the design. Too loose and it loses its presence. And because the nails are fixed, every mistake has to be accounted for. Rethreaded, adjusted. It's a process of patience, precision, repetition, but also of intuition. Of knowing when a line needs to bend, when a space needs to breathe, when to stop, when the piece is done. Some artists integrate other elements, adding resin between layers of string, creating depth, or carving into the wood beneath before laying the string, allowing the curves to float above sunken valleys. Others burn patterns into the wood that mirror the shapes formed by the threads above. It becomes a multi-layered dialogue, a visual echo, A structure on top of a memory. Lighting plays a role too. When the piece is lit from the side, the string casts shadows, ghost lines that double the form. The same pattern appears again, less sharp, more diffuse. And as you move around it, the shadows shift. The piece changes. What looked like a flat web becomes dimensional. What seemed like geometry becomes movement. And suddenly you're not just looking at the piece. You're inside it. That's part of what makes abstract wood and string art so powerful. It draws you in. It doesn't explain itself right away. It asks you to slow down, to look again, to trace the thread, to follow the curve. It's a visual puzzle where the answer keeps changing. And unlike traditional paintings or carvings, this work depends on space, on tension, on things that aren't even visible: gravity, light, airflow, the angle of the viewer. These pieces don't just decorate a wall. They inhabit it. They create a mood, pause, a breath. They make a room feel calmer, more grounded, more present. And yet they also feel futuristic, like data made beautiful, like geometry made poetic. It's the rare kind of art that feels both rooted in craft and elevated by concept. Simple materials elevated by thought. And for the maker, it's more than just a craft. It's a practice, a meditation, hammering the nails, choosing the thread, pulling each line, watching the form appear not all at once but slowly, like watching fog lift over a landscape. The final image doesn't arrive until the very end, and even then it's always changing, depending on the light, the distance, the mood of the room. Sometimes the string breaks, sometimes the tension pulls too hard and lifts a nail, sometimes the grain in the wood splits unexpectedly. These moments aren't failures. They're part of the process, the material pushing back, reminding the maker that this isn't just design. It's dialogue, between hand and material, between line and surface, between patience and precision. And when you finally step back from a finished piece and see it, really see it, it doesn't feel like decoration. It feels like a question. What is this shape? Why does it feel alive? How can something so still feel so full of motion? That's the heart of abstract wood and string art. It doesn't tell you what to think. It doesn't give you an image and say, this is a bird, or this is a tree. It gives you shape, space, line, and lets your imagination do the rest. Every person sees something different. Every viewer brings their own context. And every time you return to the piece you see something new. Abstract wood and string art starts simple. A board, a design, some nails, and thread. But what it becomes is more than that. It becomes structure, line, light, shadow. It becomes a grid of tension you can feel with your eyes. There's no paint, no texture, just space pulled tight. The wood stays flat. The string does the work. Stretched across nails, looped in patterns, woven into angles. It turns a flat surface into a sculpture. Not with bulk, but with balance. You don't follow a strict picture. You don't draw an image. You define form through repetition. Lines crossing over lines again and again until shape appears. A curve made entirely from straight paths. A wave built from taut geometry. The closer you get, the more complex it becomes. The farther you step back, the cleaner it looks. It might be mounted on a dark stained board, walnut, oak, something heavy that grounds the whole thing. Or maybe on pale plywood, raw and minimal. Some designs use reclaimed wood, knots, cracks, imperfections left in place to contrast with the sharp precision of the string. That's the tension, raw and refined, wild and calculated, side by side. The string matters. You're not just throwing thread across a board. You're choosing tension, material, thickness, black cotton for stark contrast, white for subtlety, metallic thread for shimmer. Some artists use dyed yarn, some use wire. It all changes the feeling. Thin string disappears, letting the pattern float. Thick cord becomes sculptural, casting its own shadows. Every nail is placed with intent. A grid, a circle, a triangle. Sometimes you see them, sometimes they're hidden under the thread. But they're always there, anchoring every motion. You wrap from one to another. Over, under, around. And then again. The design doesn't emerge from the drawing. It grows from movement. Some pieces feel mathematical, like architecture in motion. Others feel organic, like wind patterns or water currents trapped in a web. It's abstract, but it's not random. Every angle is planned. Every crossing is controlled. And it changes with light. A string grid looks one way in daylight. Another under spotlights. Shadows fall across the wood. Depth increases. The thread seems to float or sink depending on where you stand. You can hang it on a flat wall or prop it out from the surface, to let light pass behind it. The effect is always shifting, just bold, but quiet. Abstract wood and string art doesn't scream. It draws you in, makes you stare. You follow the lines, trying to understand how a flat board can feel three-dimensional, how a dozen nails and some string can become movement, and it fits anywhere. In a modern home, it feels graphic. In a rustic space, the raw wood anchors it. In a gallery, it looks like spatial design. On a desk, it becomes a quiet kind of sculpture, one that doesn't need explanation. Making it takes time. Not because it's complicated, but because it's precise. You map your anchor points, hammer your nails, tie your knots. Then you begin wrapping, over and over, adjusting tension, watching shape emerge. There's no shortcut, and no way to fake it. You feel the flow in your fingertips. You adjust as you go. And every piece is different. You could use the same board, same string, same pattern, and it'll still feel unique. Because your tension will change. Your angles will shift. The thread will respond to how you handle it. That's the beauty. It's controlled but not cold. It's modern, but handmade. Clean but full of human touch. A combination of discipline and instinct. That's what abstract wood and string art really is. Not just craft, not just decor. It's structure turned into expression. A drawing made without a pen. A sculpture without depth. A moment frozen in angles and arcs and fiber. One thread at a time.